You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Awake After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Awake After Show.
Yeah.
Woo!
I love that y'all start with a woo every time we do this. It's great.
We are back.
Because we are wide awake. That's right.
Of course we are. Or are we?
We are. We're here doing another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Awake, Season 1, Episode 6. That's Not My Penguin. Interesting title for a show. I'm your host, Anna Koppel. With me,
I'm Lauren Turner.
And Sean Overman.
hey folks.
Hey.
So just a reminder, you can live chat with us by either calling 424-256-1729. You can tweet me at Koppel for Mayor.
You can tweet me at Lauren's Love, L-U-V.
Or you can tweet at me at the Sean Overman.
We really want to talk especially about a show like this. And also just a reminder, hey, we buzz here for free. So we just ask that you you can quote us. Please quote us. Just give us, but rate and comment us, please. It makes us more visible and we get to bring you more shows.
It's just so important because, yeah, like Anna said, I mean, you guys work so hard. I'm just chilling back here,
Ronnie.
Yeah.
But I'm like watching Anna, and I went to go see when they were watching the show, and I'm like looking at you guys writing notes. Sean is amazing as far as like facts and stat checking and all that. So my thing is like, if you're an Awake fan, really all we say is just rate and comment our page on iTunes because that helps us out with our relationship with iTunes. And like Lauren, she's telling all her friends, hey, everyone on Facebook, I'm going to be talking about Awake. And I saw like 15, 20 messages back to her. So we do a lot for you at AFTERBUZZ. We just want our iTunes fans, and we will never exclude our YouTube fans because I like them as well.
So do I.
Yeah, YouTube's great. I mean, iTunes just as well. Everything does really go on there, and it's a community. So we love talking about the show. Thank you so much, Anna, for making it happen here.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a group effort.
Teamwork.
Teamwork is dream work. Don't ever forget it.
Or awake work. No,
Sure.
you don't get it? No.
It doesn't rhyme. We'll squeeze that in somewhere else. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about Awake.
Let's do it.
All right. So this episode again that's titled "Not My Penguin,"
Which is probably the most humorous title out of all the other episodes.
for sure.
Yeah.
But okay. So and it's interesting. It had a lot to do with Britain just losing his grip on reality. And one of you mentioned, how long? Which one of you talked about that? That how long is it going to be that he can just so easily go back and forth between realities? It's a great question. I guess today was the day.
This is
Yeah,
where we saw
this
him
is-
break down a lot.
Right.
Which was very interesting.
Right. And so we saw that by him just, first of all,
Well, the way we opened the episode is we saw him very frustrated.
right.
And he was obviously losing his grip on each of the worlds. He was getting cases mixed up, files mixed up. He was getting the wrong coffee order and giving it to his wife when it was really probably meant for his son or something like that.
He handed Vega a box. Like, did you get the... what did
Right.
he say? Did you get
When
the
it was
Yeah.
really Patrolman Vega or
Yeah,
something.
it wasn't
and,
like partner Vega?
Yeah. And so then Bird was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was-
What's the matter with you?
A lot of humor in the beginning of this
Yeah.
episode.
If we can go
Yes.
back to the very beginning opening scene, which I found very powerful, was the narration of Dr. Lee as he's describing, the symptoms of schizophrenia, and it's showing visually all of the things that kind of are that our poor Britain is going through right now: the frustration, anger, confusion, clinging to things that others can't see, trying to hold on to that.
Maintaining a routine, right,
Yeah.
to keep the delusion of control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the big one. No? Okay.
But,
Well,
Sleep disorders.
oh, obviously.
Sleep disorders,
yeah.
including
Wow.
insomnia.
Which will
I can't believe I
cause
missed that one.
hallucinations. Yeah, sleep disorders. Wow.
And so I had mentioned this, I think, in last week's after show, that he can't ever be getting good sleep.
Right.
And it's never a deep sleep for sure, if he is in fact ever sleeping. And in this week's episode, he seemed to be getting tired, or was tired, in both worlds, in both realities. So, I mean, is this just a function of him finally getting tired, or is he a paranoid schizophrenic? What do you think?
Well, he does meet someone in one of his, scenes that is schizophrenic, and it is going through it, and he can kind of relate to him, which is interesting. And I think us as viewers related to it as well, like kind of put that relation together. Which
I think
get
it was
so
pretty.
caught up in the red and green. Which reality was this one?
This was the red reality.
This was the red
of
reality.
his life.
Yes.
Yes. And he basically was called in. There was a hostage situation at a mental institution. Gabe, we find out, is a patient there, and he just wants his sister, is what we find out.
Gabriel does.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
And so, sorry.
And with the whole, obviously the writers, they drew a lot of parallels between what's going on with Gabe and what's going on with Britain to show
Right.
that, this is probably where Britain could end up. And
Yeah.
obviously, Dr. Lee was referring to that a lot, and without Britain knowing. And and we see this explosive hostage situation going on, and Britain's brought into it.
A few things about this. First of all, I really enjoyed, up until now, I don't think any of the cases that Britain has been working on has any sort of, it doesn't seem to be intertwined with his real life. It doesn't seem to connect to his dream story at all. It just kind of seems to also be there in the show.
Yeah.
So I really liked that this was so much a part of his story, and I really just think this episode was leaps and bounds above the others. And I'm a fan of the show, so I think this is extra good.
I agree with you. I think this was my favorite episode by far.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
All the actors were talking about it in interviews and on Twitter, like, oh, wait till you see the Penguin episode.
Yeah.
And so, it was anticipated, and, they delivered. It was great.
Yeah, they really did. And then the other thing, what did I want to? Dr. Lee shows up. And I kind of had asked about this, and you had responded, well, because my question was, how is it that Dr. Lee shows up? It is the Red World. It is his psychiatrist in this reality. Why isn't anybody acknowledging this? And Sean, you made the point that it's a
Confidentiality thing.
right, which is, that makes total sense. However, I personally have been in therapy. Surprise.
It's okay.
And I'm not ashamed of it.
And my sister's actually, she's a therapist, and it's completely healthy. She goes to therapy herself.
I love therapy. Listen.
I
But
just started going too. It's all good.
Yeah, it's great. It's so LA.
Yeah.
So
So
LA.
LA.
It's so getting your life in order. How about that?
Also true. But I've had different therapists who feel different ways. But I've had therapists who, we've seen each other in public, and she will, not even look at me. We'll see each other, and it's just kind of pretend we don't know each other, because they're that strict about the oath, So I just find it bizarre that they're going to, work on this case together, Here are my recommendations for you. Now go on in there with this this schizophrenic who's holding people hostage, and the fact that he wouldn't say anything to him, hey, doesn't this remind you of you?
Right.
So I just found that kind of bizarre.
I don't know. Would you really want to say that to the cop who's supposed to be bringing the situation
Yeah.
down?
Because you have to remember, Gabe asked for only, Britain. This is the only person that he wanted to come in there.
I understand.
So-
Oh, and Dr. Lee had also been treating Gabe, right? Mm. Yeah, I guess it's a problem. A lot of parallels.
A lot of parallels. And then once Britain gets into the institution and, has to talk Gabe down, What happens then? He gets shot with animal tranquilizer.
Well, first he gets hit in the back of the
He
head.
gets hit in the back of the head
nailed
first.
in the back of the
That was
head.
horrible.
Tons of blood.
Yeah. You were like, you knocked him out.
And then it was replaced with ketamine.
Ketamine.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
loss
And-
of blood replaced with ketamine.
So what did you guys think when he blacked out ketamine? Did you know what it was?
I didn't. Well, obviously, I didn't know it was ketamine. I was guessing it would be a tranquilizer of some kind, and that he would. I knew that he would wake up in the other world, but I was thinking because that doctor. Remember that there was that one doctor who was captive, and she said, "No, don't give that to him. He's gonna die."
Right.
And what if he did die? If he died in one reality, does he
What
die in the other one?
Right.
What if he's already dead?
What if he's already dead? We don't know.
We don't know. Oh, time will tell, man. Were there any other parallels?
I didn't. Not according to my notes. There were a lot. There were a lot of clues between the worlds this time. So he gets shot with the ketamine. He ends up waking up. He starts seeing the penguin. So that was pretty interesting.
In the next in the other
reality, in the green reality.
Do you feel like they maybe could have done a better job with the penguin? It was like such
animation wise.
Yeah. It's like, oh, here's a computer image of a penguin.
I mean, if we were hallucinating a penguin right now, would it just be real? Like, what would it look like?
Do you think they should have brought in a real penguin?
Yeah. Yeah. It can be done.
Maybe they couldn't tame.
Have you seen Happy Feet? I mean, anyway, that's
So
just,
he sees
it's
the
a little
penguin,
thing.
and then
sees the penguin.
he sees it again in the other reality. So he's seeing this penguin. The hallucination is also, we were talking about, is also a symptom of schizophrenia.
Correct.
And sleep deprivation as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, all true.
So we're like, what is this? I mean, what's going on? I think he's thinking that himself.
I thought it was weird how we have in the cool world, we referred to the green world as being the cool world before, like cooler colors, that there happened to be a penguin there. But then as I was taking notes, I was like, oh, I wonder what the power animal is going to be if it's a power animal. What it's going to be in the red world or the warm world. And then the penguin happened to be there again. I was really surprised at the end of the episode that the penguin was there.
Yeah.
Once again, I felt like it could have been another animal, maybe in a different episode, but then boom, there it was.
Yeah, you say power animal is a reference to Fight Club.
That's right. And
All
I saw,
right.
and I immediately thought of that, the
you
Fight
did.
Club reference, and then you saw that, right? That there were other people talking
Right.
about it.
We were looking at the message boards on IMDb, and somebody said, "Oh, yay, Britain found his power animal." So,
What's your power
definitely
animal,
needs one.
Anna?
I don't have it. I'm my own power animal. Damn it.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's yours, Sean?
I think I like gorillas.
Gorillas. Nice. I think mine is a deer. I don't know. I have no idea what
very
mine
friendly
is.
That's
animal.
really sweet. As you said that, like I could see your doe-like
fawn.
features. I think some of the other parallels were, Gabe kept saying he needs a sister. He needs to see her. He needs to talk to her. That's something Britain needs to. He not his sister, but his son and his wife. He
Exactly.
needs that. And what was it? They said Gabe was a rising star in the government till Christie died, and then he kind of went crazy. And it's kind of the same thing.
Just
Britain
like-
was like,
He's a really good detective.
till the accident,
Yeah.
kind of starts to lose it.
Well, they say everybody else says he's losing it.
Right.
To him, he's sane to himself.
Right,
You know?
as is Gabe.
Everybody else.
And he's actually performing well. If you're basing it on
Yes.
his performance, he's
He's
doing his
solving
job
cases.
well. He's solving cases,
Right.
and he's getting results. But the thing is that everybody else thinks like, where's he getting these results from?
Right. I don't know.
What did he say? As his partner, what is it, Stevens or Bird, said something like, "I haven't seen a hunch, like this, except for on TV."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like something's going on.
Yeah. The other thing that's noteworthy is this is the second person that Britain is relating to that's like a little crazy. Last week it was the what was the name of the killer? It's a serial killer.
Oh, the Gemini?
Gemini.
Yes.
Yeah. So now this is twice that somebody gets him or he gets somebody that's, in the crazy over here pile.
Yeah, I guess
Right?
it was actually flipped the other time. And coincidentally, the Gemini killings and stuff, they took place in the green world. And that killer was finding a commonality with Britain.
Right.
But here, most of the time, we were in the red world during this episode. And we had, this time, Britain was finding commonality with someone else who was crazy.
Right.
Very fascinating.
It looks like they're
Very.
setting it up for Britain to be crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Could be the old
But
bait
it
and
wouldn't
switch,
be
though.
that
It wouldn't be that
easy.
easy. It
No
never
way.
is.
It's not going to be turned on and off. It's going to be an evolution. We're going to see him go down this path of he's okay a few episodes, and he's going to be coming like more and more losing his sanity.
Can we
later
touch on the very last scene?
Yeah, please.
With
Yeah.
Dr. Lee not really being there.
Yeah.
I mean, I found that to be, obviously, we all were just like, what?
I was blown away too.
I was definitely blown away by that, that Dr. Lee finally has, he's being approved by Dr. Lee, and he's like, oh, we're finding progress here. And he's like, and they put me in a van away, just in case. And he's like, wait a minute, you were with me when I woke up. You were in his head. He's like, you're with me when I woke up. You were with me on the bench with the penguin. Really, he wasn't. He wasn't there.
So not only was he hallucinating about the penguin, but he was hallucinating
Dr. Lee.
Exactly. I don't know.
Which makes sense,
It does.
in retrospect. But yeah, so he's been hallucinating all over the place. So what else has he been hallucinating now? This was the green world that this took place in, right?
The Red World. That the
Sorry,
most,
that this
the
is
whole,
the Red World.
The Gabriel hostage situation that
Right.
took place in the Red World.
Red World.
Yeah,
Green World had the girlfriend, which we didn't really talk about, but
that's right.
We can in a second.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is it possible then that he's hallucinating everything in this world, including the wife?
In the Red World.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
it's a possibility.
It is a
Just
possibility.
possibility.
It is a possibility.
We theorize. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
Okay, so would you like to talk about the girlfriend? What would you like to say about her?
No, I mean, it's just that was our story in the Green World. This episode had a lot to do with Rex, his son, has a girlfriend. Britain doesn't even have any idea that there's a girl like sleeping upstairs with cereal and all kind of stuff. And eventually it goes into Britain meeting the girlfriend, and she gives him a hug and shows like a different world of how you can be with your parents.
Right.
But then there's the ring situation as well. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how the doctor, he mentioned, Gabe in the Red World mentions Dr. Wild, and he's like, oh, Wild, the Wild ring, that knuckle ring or whatever it was. And then we go into him, getting shot with the ketamine. He wakes up, he's like, wait, that has to have something to do with it. So he tries to search for that. And that's pretty much,
ring,
that's pretty much like his whole journey in the Green World this time.
it's finding
to find
the
that
ring.
ring. And it's, in a way, actually, it's to get closer to his son, which was pretty interesting. And he meets Emma.
And he
Right.
finds out the son stole the ring to give to his girlfriend.
Does that
So-
seem weird? Does that seem like something that Rex would do normally? Like steal out of the murder evidence box?
I did not even. Did he have it at home with him? I didn't
Yeah,
catch that.
right.
Okay.
Well,
I
we
guess I missed
assume that
part.
because when he first walked in, he had the box in
box,
his hands
yeah.
and he handed it over to.
Ah,
Vega.
bingo. Yes, I
Yeah.
did miss that part.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they didn't actually show it at home,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, it was. I was like
Flipped us to-
furiously as I was taking notes. I see the box fall. I'm like, hey, what's happening now?
right.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, who knows
we
where
go.
Rex is gonna go in this, like how he's gonna change.
Yeah. What is he doing?
What is he doing?
Sometimes
he's
he
lost his
seem-
mom, so
Yeah. No, that's true. Sometimes he seems like such a good kid, and then
Yeah.
other times such a
What?
jerk.
Yeah.
Jeez. Rex is yet to win me over.
The duality.
He's kind of like
being-
his father. Like, don't you feel that way a little bit about Britain?
A little bit, I guess. It's the duality of being a teenager. Your sweet
Yeah.
one, so sweet they make your teeth rot, and then the next minute,
It's true.
You hate them.
It's true. I was awful when I was a teenager, so you're right. You're right. What else? Oh, that's something else that Gabe said. He said, no matter how hard I try, his problem is that no matter how hard he tries, he stops seeing things that aren't really there. That his problem isn't that he sees things that aren't really there. It's that at some point he stops seeing them. And
He doesn't want to feel that anymore.
Yeah.
He wants
Right.
to.
He wants it to be real, that he sees his sister, not imagining her.
right. And Britain gets that also. And then there was something towards the end where Britain is helping Gabe about his sister. This is a major thing, right? Where Britain seems to be remembering the accident
Yeah.
and kind of chooses this delusion instead. Helps Gabe with a lie, just gives him a lie. And I think in doing so is kind of feeding his own delusion, believing his own lie.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I actually have an alternative perspective.
Please.
I shall share that. So he lied to Gabe, clearly.
Clearly.
But I think in that way, in that situation, it de-escalated it a lot more. And thankfully,
sure.
Lauren brought this up. What did you say about him like putting stuff together when he saw?
Well, he noticed that Gabe's full name, he was a third. So he's like Gabe, whatever his name is, the third. There was a picture where Gabe had of him and his sister. On the back said trip 07. And the whole thing is there's no way that Gabe could have taken a trip in 07. And, so he put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, oh, he's a great detective. Trip is the nickname that his sister called him because he's the third 333. So he used that in his story to Gabe. And that's when I feel like Gabe just was like, it's true, in his head.
Right.
He's like, it's true. She's sending me a message through, Detective Britton.
Right.
And you're right. It did.
Now, getting back to the whole lie. So he lied to him. Thankfully, he put it together and helped him out. But it proves to me that the mind, it's the universe doesn't exist like out here where we are. The universe exists in the mind, and that's exactly what Britton was helping. That's what he believes, I'm sure, and that's what he's helping Gabe to believe as well. So, to help him live through his existence. Yeah, his sister's alive. She's gone. She's escaped, and that makes him more at peace. Just like Britton's believing that, hey, my wife's alive and my son's alive,
Right.
Yeah. And why not give him peace?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because at some point it might become detrimental to either his wife or son.
Well, no, I just mean in the sense of Gabe.
Well, in the sense of Gabe, sure.
Yeah,
but there's a reason why they were showing that car crash again.
Oh, definitely.
So
I think, we're going on this journey with him in a way, and we're going to find out. I'll tell you guys what my prediction is at the end. And
yeah, we're going to reserve that for
tell you that
predictions.
at the end, it's going to be good. No.
I think that's all I have. Shall we take a break, or do you have
let's
a couple
take a
more
break.
things?
Let's go ahead and take a break.
All right, we're taking a break.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Welcome back, AfterBuzzers. We are buzzing about Awake, Season 1, Episode 6, That's Not My Penguin. And we're going to talk a little bit about just different theories that people have. You can be a part of this discussion. Again, you can call us, but you can also email us throughout the week. Email us at info@afterbuzztv.com, or you can Facebook any of us or tweet any of us, and get your opinions out there. We want to hear them. So, Sean, do you want to start us off in this?
Sure, certainly.
Hey.
So based on, I'm not saying overall so far right now, but just basing what was happening. I had kind of a theory what was happening with the whole hallucination thing. Now we've talked about, you've mentioned, Anna, that he's not getting good sleep, because
right.
He's going and he's dealing with all this crap in each reality, right? So I believe that because he got that shot this time, he did not, in a sense, have a whole night's sleep in one of the realities. Therefore, he wakes up in the other reality and he starts seeing this penguin. Now, when you don't have REM sleep, you end up usually getting hallucinations. If you're really sleep deprived, you get hallucinations while you're awake. They call them microdreams sometimes. People refer to them as that. And I've seen numerous accounts in fiction where, you know, a lack of sleep in generally in lots of stories leads to night terrors while you're awake doing your daily routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know about those.
Personally? Would you like to discuss that?
No.
No.
So I'll go ahead. Yeah, so that's my theory, at least on this episode. I believe that Brighton, I don't think he's really dreaming in a way. I think that he is awake, and he is in just two different realities, you know, like the writers, you know, they did such a great job, you know, Kyle Killen, just seeing how we could live like two different paths, and they're giving that chance to this character.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I have a viewer here who thinks Kyle Killen is doing a terrible job.
Oh, no.
And this is under the category of why doesn't Britain seek the doppelgangers? And this particular viewer is talking about alternate universes, and that the first rule of alternate universes, I guess, is that the differences have to be reasonably small and plausible and not contradicting basic science. So he doesn't believe that Kyle Killen's doing a very good job of that.
So essentially, what is he? Okay, because Click Clack, hey Click Clack on Twitter, said that he said that he thinks that there are just two Michaels. Like he's like, I think there's two Michaels. So is that in the same sense of two realities, or like? Well, I mean, you're saying
that's what I mean. From what you guys explained to me, I only watched a little bit of the episodes with you. I was thinking there's a version of him in the red and a version of him in the green. Is this what this Twitter theory is?
Possibly, I think.
But
I could see that.
Go ahead.
Probably wrong, but that's what makes watching this show and talking about it fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the case in a parallel universe, and not. I don't know the difference between a parallel universe and an alternate universe. Listeners, if you do, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that the difference is pretty much alternate would just say that there's just like one other, but you know, in parallel universes there's like many infinite others from
right.
paths that people would take, and they didn't take one path and things end up being different. You know, like, for example, we see with Britain, you know, one, like obviously his wife dies in one, his son dies in the other, so it's different, you know. And then we have a lot of the characters like Vega getting his promotion, or you know, either that or he stays with Bird, his partner. So you know, there's a lot of things that could happen, and this is just exploring one of those paths in each time.
And so this, I mean, I have the answer for this viewer. Why doesn't he seek the doppelgangers? It's because he doesnn't want to know which reality is real.
Very good point.
But oh, thank you. But thanks, guys.
With our in-studio audience.
Yeah, they're so quiet the rest of the time. But it would be, you know, an interesting thing to just sort of, for somebody to do. Somebody heard his theory. It's his dream state.
Thanks for the theory.
To go look up, you know, hey, where did Dr. Evans graduate from? Where's she at? Where's she at? Anyway, so that's one thing. And then somebody has an ending prediction.
Ooh, already? For the whole series, or just for
the whole series?
Oh, wow.
No, season.
Okay.
Unless you have some news, shall we just jump into predictions altogether?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Predictions.
Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. Wait. No, we're not doing that. Just kidding. This person's doing predictions.
Okay. We're almost done.
It's my fault, Ronnie. Sorry. And this is something that I kind of said earlier, was that, one prediction. The first is that the wreck made two different dimensions, and he keeps crossing back and forth. And he finds a way to merge them, and then everything works out okay. Now, I don't know where this would be if there's, like, I don't know, somewhere in the precinct. It's like a whatever. Anyway, and then the second is that neither his wife or his kid are dead, and that he's dead, and he's stuck in some kind of purgatory.
That would be interesting. I could see that one happening.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? then this is, and we talked about this last time too, that Britton and his wife only have one-on-one time. There's never like a third-party interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something to notice. This happened again in this episode where Hannah doesn't answer her phone, right?
And then is this the one, and then they try to have lunch. Like they're never interacting with anyone else.
Right.
But I've seen her interact. Remember, she interacted with Rex's friend at one point.
And she also gave like that speech over at the commencement ceremony for
right.
that.
But never the two of them together with others.
Right.
So.
And somebody actually made the point, though, because she did interact with Rex's friend, Cole is his name.
Cole.
And he came over with the motorcycle, and Britton is actually there, but the friend never acknowledges Britton. So
it's almost like a sixth sense.
You know what, too? Actually, in that scene, they have him bring over, the motorcycle, and he's riding it first, and then it cuts. And it has the wife riding the motorcycle after that.
Right.
And it's almost like maybe the kid isn't there or not.
Right.
Through the ellipse.
Yeah. So
many.
It's just something to notice. These are what we talk about on the message boards. And I think that's all I have for just discussions, message board discussions. Again, please feel free to email us your theories. We'd love to hear them. Should we get into some news and gossip?
Let's.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, today I have a little bit of news from Wilmer Valderrama, obviously playing Vega in the show. In a recent interview with the LA Times, he actually says, that there may possibly be a conspiracy going on within the series. And the question is for Vega, is he truly partners with Britton because he is promoted and it's because of merit? Or is he partners to keep an eye out on Britton to find out? I don't know what the conspiracy may be. We shall see. There's been some things alluding to it, but we're not sure. And then quickly, on Twitter, Ayanna Berkshire actually played the nurse in the episode today, and she just wanted us to give her a little shout out. So Ayanna, hey, you did great today. Good job. Congratulations. I don't know what camera I'm looking at.
Thumbs up.
And then woo! And then Laura Allen, who plays Hannah on the show, she tweeted to just stay with it, guys, because it gets even better. So she tweeted
what I've heard.
Wait, so the first girl that tweeted, she tweeted you, or what happened?
She tweeted AfterBuzz. No, she tweeted me.
No, I mean it's all. So that means she's watching and supporting.
Means I told you I posted on Facebook and my Twitter and reaching out to everyone.
Yeah.
So
you must know somebody.
She's got those followers up there, man.
I have
know a guy.
followers. So yeah, Ayanna, and then hopefully maybe Wilmer, we can get him in here. Whoever, but
throw a phone call or something. Go ahead, Lauren, make that happen.
If you guys want to, if any of those people out there that are tweeting at you want to call in, 424-256-1729, you can reach us here.
Same time, same place.
And
or
I think
if you want to come in and talk to us,
that would be even better.
Face to face.
I think the most interesting thing about that is these actors, they're on the show. It's a show, like Anna said earlier, like no other show. So I would love to get their take on, do maybe they're acting on the show, but as a fan, do they have theories of their own? Are they getting wrapped up into this like the rest of the, the Twitter universe out there? It's just kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. So come on in, guys. There's an empty seat right there.
Yeah.
Here. We have a couch there.
BD Wong live tweets from as well, so
I love him.
I love him too. His Twitter's just BD Wong, so I think so you can just follow him too.
So I have two little things here. Director, we've heard that Awake might not be returning, which we hope is not true.
Womp womp.
But this isn't looking so great. Director David Slade is set for NBC's Hannibal. So Hannibal is the prequel to Thomas Harris's Red Dragon novel. Pilot's been written by Brian Fuller from Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies. So easy. And I don't know how that looks for Awake, but people have had multiple projects going on in the past, but I don't know.
True.
Let's stay optimistic.
Let's stay optimistic. We love Awake. And also, I didn't want to bring any of this onto the show because there are just too many spoilers, but if you go on seattlepie.com, seattlepi.com, there's a great interview with Kyle Killen that was published this morning, and it just really great, a lot of insight, but again, spoilers, so
Be careful.
Read with
Beware.
caution. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Predictions?
None from me. Oh, yes. Oh, actually, no, sorry. That was news and gossip. Yeah, I got predictions.
Of course you do.
You predict.
Gonna
Predict away.
I got good ones.
Go.
Okay, I predict, of course, this time we saw lots of breaks in Britain's sanity, him getting really frustrated. I think we're going to see more of that coming up from now. We're like halfway through the season, so I expect
That's good, right?
Womp womp. So we're going to see more breaks in his sanity, and I think they're going to get more intense. Maybe there'll probably be some like ups and downs, roller coaster effect. Mistakes and cases in personal life, we're going to see more of that, I'm sure. I want to see more revealed with the conspiracy in his accident that happened, because they're alluding to it. We saw the trailer for the next episode next week, and they may allude to it next time again. And I wrote this down beforehand, but I wanted to see a different power animal, but we know it's the penguin in both realities now.
So you just want him to continue hallucinating.
Yeah.
Poor Britain. I kind of don't like to do too many predictions because I don't like to get ahead of myself. But I'm Lauren's Love on Twitter, and I'm all about love. And I just hope that we find out something very positive at the end of this. Like, for instance, maybe he was in a coma, and maybe he wakes up, and by his side is his son and his wife. And, they can.
That's not going to happen on NBC.
But I have hope that it can. So, if you want more hope, just follow me.
Is she the sweetest thing ever? That's like the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
But wouldn't everybody be shocked if that happened? It would be a good shock.
Yeah. I'm too cynical for that. I predict that Britain is dead or in a coma. So that's where my heart is. And
if I could tell you how many times in the back of this booth here I hear people in predictions, I think they're gonna die. we got to think of some other ideas. I think they're gonna die.
Go ahead, Ron.
No, I'm done.
On a lot of shows that's been happening.
I guess it's true. Yeah.
Especially that I've been watching. Well,
you watch Spartacus,
Dexter, Spartacus. So many people die on.
Quickly,
those.
is anybody gonna die in this show? Any main character gonna die?
Yeah.
Who?
Well,
either his wife or his son.
Or himself.
Good one.
Or himself. And if they move to Oregon, they're probably going to have to get rid of Wilmer. So, Hey, don't forget to vote for Maria on Dancing with the Stars.
Maria! Team Maria!
Who are you?
At the Sean Overman. Follow me on Twitter.
Lauren's Love, LUV. And what's your Twitter girl?
You can find me at Koppel for Mayor, MAYOR. I'm Anna Koppel. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.